This video is sponsored by PotownStore.com, the best place to get yourself some TCGO code cards. Want to start playing competitively? It's very easy to do so with instant email delivery with the codes, and they have a huge variety of codes up on their website, reaching from league battle decks, specific promo codes, or even the latest booster packs in town. So definitely check out PotownStore.com, and you can use the coupon code ZapdosTCG for 5% off your next order. How wonderful is that? Also check out cardmarket.com. This is a European platform that I personally use every day. If you're a European player, you're obligated to check out the link in the description below. We're going to be able to check out Card Market, and you can buy cards and sell cards to people all across Europe, so definitely do so. You're going to be helping me out a ton. So definitely enjoy this video, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace! What's up YouTube, it's ZapdosTCG here, and welcome back to another TCG video on my channel. On this channel you get daily Pokemon TCG content, so be sure you are subscribed so you don't ever miss out. Today we're going to be ranking all the decks, that's right, the ones that are going to come into the format with Shining Fates, the one with battle styles. It's gonna be all packed into this video. We have so many decks. I think we have like 80 decks that are kind of viable or actually have proven itself throughout the team up onwards format. And today we're gonna be ranking them and see. This is actually a prediction video, so this is my own opinion, but actually, yeah, let you guys decide as well on the Virbank City Facebook post. So that's gonna be awesome. So you guys are actually implemented a little bit in this video. So for everybody that actually filled in that poll, thank you very much. We're gonna be having some fun today. So hopefully you're gonna have a lot of good things going with the format. There's of course people hating on ADP. There's still the same format. Tag teams are busted, but just push that aside. There's gonna be a lot of new archetypes coming in the format. We're gonna have some fun. Let's put the positive vibe into the Pokemon TCG once again. Okay, just get yourself a snack, a soda, and let's get this video started. So as you can see, we are of course here on Tier Maker. You can actually go and fill in this exact tier list yourself by clicking on the description and just clicking that link for Tier Maker. And look at that, all these viable decks. Look at that. We're gonna have so much fun today. So probably gonna be a long video, so hopefully you guys won't mind. And as you can see, Mewtwo has so many different archetypes, it's unreal. So we're gonna go in chronological order, the alphabetical order, if we're being honest. And we just have ADP, and that's of course going to be tier 1. Let me just check here on the Virbank City poll where you guys rated the second best deck, of course. ADP is of course one of those decks that is always like very linear. You just try to use Altered Creation GX and then boss. The ADP has of course the new addition to Rusted Sword, so your Zacians can even add up to 290 damage output, which is kind of ridiculous for sure. So we're putting this of course in here. So sometimes you might think, ooh, are we gonna put Tool Scrapper in our list for something like Luke Metal? Well, scratch that, you put in the Rusted Sword, you're gonna be fine as well. So I do think it's still gonna be tier 1 because of course Mawile gives it so much playability. If you're playing Mawile, you can scout the opponent's head, slap down some basic Pokemon you find there. It's awesome, so it's definitely tier 1 for sure. Next, Aerodactyl Galicipod. I don't know how to feel about this one. It's of course a Pokemon with 130 HP and slapping 180 damage because we're not playing like EX Pokemon or GX Pokemon in general. But I don't know how to feel about it. It actually proven itself a little bit. For now, I think I will just slap it in tier 3. It could be going a little bit lower. Also, I should explain here that we have tier 1, tier 1.5, which I am doubting a little bit because some weeks it is actually tier 1, other weeks it's dropping down a little bit. So it's actually between tier 1 and tier 2. So we'll see how it goes. Aeropod, very interesting deck. Alcremie, putting that at tier 4. Sometimes you do see an Alcremie popping up here and there, but because of the weakness of metal, it's definitely tier 4 for me. Blacephalon, tier 1.5. Personally, I would put it at tier 1 because I love playing with it. I know how the matchups work, and you can always improve the matchup spread a little bit by adding in stuff like Galarian Zigzagoon and Great Catcher. It all depends, but it is 1.5 objectively, and I think in the Virbank City poll, I don't know how many people voted for Blacephalon. I think there's not a lot of people like that is actually fan of Blacephalon. I do think that Curvy Knight scored very high. That's very interesting to see. Haven't tested Curvy Knight that much, but it looks to be very popular. Centiskorch V Max. With the introduction of battle styles, are people voting for Centiskorch V Max? Yeah, there's still a couple of people voting for Centiskorch V Max. They do predict that Curvy Knight and Bronzong and ADP and Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX are better. So if we listen to the community, let's just put Centiskorch V Max at a tier 1.5. Although I still think it's very good. So maybe that could change up. Maybe we could swap between tier 1 and tier 1.5 in the long term. But for now, it's going to be tier 1.5. A little bit better than Centiskorch, thanks to the community. Charizard, putting this on tier 3 because this Royal Blaze Charizard from Vivid Voltage is actually dishing out quite a huge amount of damage. And could actually be viable at one point. It's still very clunky because you need to rely on stage 2, but it dishes out as max damage output 300, so don't be sleeping on that. Charizard VMAX also could win itself a tournament here and there. It does slap a huge amount of damage. You have Welder, triple accelerated energy. Yeah, also gonna be putting it at tier 3, I'm sorry. Then Chiram Box, I don't know how that you call this. Will this be broken? People can actually break this ability. You can attach as many grass energies from your hand to your Pokemon without a rule box as often as you like. So will this see play in the future? Will it be tier 4 or a little bit higher? I think it's like very similar to Aerodactyl because in that sense you can accelerate to whatever Pokemon you want, and you actually could slap more than 180. Aerodactyl is a stage 1, revolves around like the unidentified fossil. And I don't know. Chiram has a wonderful ability. We do have the new Tapu Bulu coming in battle styles. We have the Shaman Prism Star, although that one does revolve around a rule box, so you need to like manually attach and then wait a turn, attach again to the Shaman. Don't know how to feel about Chiram. It could be like interesting, but for now I think I will still put it in tier 4 just because there's a lot of fire archetypes in the format that revolve around one prize Pokemon. Think about Volcanion and Centiskorch, Volcanion and other decks, Babybloss, Cephalon. There's still a lot of Welder shenanigans. Also ADP just annihilates Cherim, so for now tier 4 for me. Cinderace, tier 2. That's a solid tier 2 deck that is popping up in tournaments. Has seen a little bit of results here and there, so it's only logical. It has a great typing, has some nice matchup spreads. Colossal, putting it here in tier 4. I haven't seen a lot of Colossal hype, although it was like that one tournament where ADP got banned and then this took over. But that was just because of its typing, being able to hit for weakness against Eternatus and Pickeron. And now Picoram is revolving around Mewtwo, so that's also going down the drain. And Eternatus, I don't know, this Colossal build could actually annihilate Eternatus. Is it better than this one? Maybe we put this Charizard on tier 4 because I haven't seen too many successful Charizard Leon lists. These are like decks that actually popped up in tournaments a little bit here and there. Yeah, sure. Colossal, solid tier 2 deck. There's nothing to say about that. Colossal is just, it has a great typing. You can hit for Eternatus and Pickeron all together. You can accelerate to yourself with the Eruption Shot. You have Oranguru, you have Rotom Phones. It's a great deck. It's also probably better than the Cinderace. We've also like made a top 10 best decks for Player Cup 3. Definitely check that video out if you're still in the team up all the way to Vivid Voltage metagame. Today we're talking about the future Tierlist Prediction. That's what we're doing today. Munchlex control deck. Control decks are solid tier 2 deck. If you are a wonderful control player like Sander Wojcik from the Netherlands, you probably will win tournaments. You also have bird control and all that. I grouping them all together with this Munchlex, so that's going to be like the key point of like control decks because you can put card from the discard pile on top of the deck, so you know how it goes. Munchlex control. Next up is Curvy Knight. You guys are putting it really high, so I think I might just believe you. So we're putting it really high as well. We have Curvy Knight V Max, and this revolves around Bronzong. If you're interested to see like opinions and like deck lists for these kind of decks, I actually have all of them up on the channel. Be sure to look them up. Even the new ones, we have of course the deck profiles from Battle Styles. We did all of them already, so you guys should have a blast checking out those videos if you haven't already, to see how the mechanic works, why they are so good. And yeah, Curvy Knight might just put it in a little bit higher because it stays alive time after time. Who can slap 320? Or if this Curvy Knight has a big charm, you have 350. You can use Bronzong, healing off all the damage, and with the Cheryl card, yeah. Fantastic. So Curvy Knight very high up on the list. And I wonder if it's gonna be, it is weak to fire, but we have the metal coating energies. Although there is like the billowing fan or undaunting fan or whatever it's called, that actually puts the special energy on the bottom of the deck. You also have like the Dimension Breach Giratina still from Unified Mind, so it's still weak to fire, but every fire deck probably will need to run like a way to discard special energies, I think. Curvy Knight. Interesting that you guys rated so high. I think it's like the third best voted deck in Virbank City post. Interesting. Moving forward, Counterbox. And Counterbox has a new face in the form of Ditto. Of course, Counterbox is like, you have Rhyperior, you have Milotic, you have Aurora Energies and Welder, and you hit for specific weaknesses. oh, you're up against a Centiskorch, use Ditto, swap for a Pokemon from the discard pile. So you can actually have like playing one Milotic, one Rhyperior, one Ditto, one Cramorant, and that Ditto can be anything you ever want it to be. I think it's gonna be tier 2. It actually did, it was able to like score at least a championship tournament here and there, like where it actually did very well, that counter box. Crydaily, tier 3. This is like the one with Almastar. Be sure to check that video out. Like you have like that fossil luck going around. Hydreigon. I haven't seen that popping up and winning tournaments. Tier 4 for me. These guys can all still change around. Tier 3 and tier 4, we're gonna figure that out. But just moving forward, we have of course our tier 1 ADP. Moving forward, we have Centiskorch, Curvy Knight, and Blacephalon. And then the Decidueye, another solid tier 2 deck. It's probably gonna be like on the same territory as Colossal. You need to have some luck with your matchups for sure. Donphan, Spiritomb, that's not even tier 2. I think it's still, it does have of course the typing going around, but I'm gonna put it in tier 3, the higher end of tier 3 though. Aerodactyl V Max. We do get the Rapid Strike Urshifu, so it could be climbing its way up. Urshifu VMAX is also weak against Psychic. This does need a couple of energies to get going. I don't know how to feel about this. We have, of course, people are saying, like, if we're looking at the Virbank post, Aerodactyl VMAX with Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX is very good. You guys think it's very good. So we're gonna put it at the higher end of tier 2. For now, it could prove itself to be even more busted than we thought. But you hit weakness against the Urshifus, we spread damage around, and Urshifu, the Rapid Strike, of course, is going to be very interesting to pair that up with Aerodactyl VMAX. Double Porygon Z-List, we saw that popping up here and there and actually doing pretty well. But thanks to the fighting weakness and the Urshifu hype, I'm going to put it in tier 3. Yeah, that's what we're doing here. Let's go. Durant, I think it's going to be tier 4. People are hyping up Durant, but I think it's still very clunky in a format with ADP and a lot of things that can one-shot it. You don't have like the way in the past we had like Revive. That was in the Noble Victories days. Also, this fella needs like you only have 4 twin energies in your list. It needs 2 Kara's energies to attack with, so I don't know how to feel about it. I'm putting it at tier 4 for now. If I'm wrong, hopefully I am right because I don't like Mill, but it happens. Eternatus V Max. Eternatus V Max. In the past, it was tier 1 for sure. The tournament results definitely showcase that it is a tier 1 deck. But thanks to the fighting type weakness, I know you could be running weak guard energies, but you cannot scout them out unless you're playing a Pierce variant of Eternatus. Will they adapt? Who knows? You also play on weakness like Crobat. They could like Boss's Orders, a Crobat, slap damage and spread more damage. So I'm afraid of the Urshifus, so I'm gonna knock it in the higher end of tier 1.5. For now. It could change. Excadrill is a solid tier 2 archetype. And I see Excadrill still popping off here and there. Falling tier 4, I think on the lower end of tier 4 as well. Cherrim could become a little bit higher. Durant, I don't know. These are all decks that you probably will not need to play if you want to take it seriously. Moving forward, Flapple VMAX. Yeah, people are hyping up Flapple VMAX. Some of them put them like in daily TCG videos I'm posting like, can you make a Flapple VMAX deck? And my answer always is like, why would you play this over any other VMAX Pokemon? This needs 3 energies to slap 250, while Eternatus slaps way more. And it also has like a terrible weakness, so Flapple VMAX, I'm gonna be putting is even under Alcremie VMAX. Sorry, Flapple VMAX lovers. We have Flygon VMAX. Actually, Flygon GX did have its good moments here and there. I think we can change it up a little bit. Tier 2 Flygon GX, that could change, right? Striking on the bench, it cannot get gusted up. The Vibravas do have an ability that they cannot get gusted up by Boss's Orders. What to do about Flygon? For now, lower end of tier 2. Galarian Darmanitan VMAX, lower end of tier 3. I did see some people playing this. Galarian Mr. Rhyme, lower end of tier 3. I have practiced with this a little bit. Damage output is ridiculously high, but it is nowhere near the tier of Blacephalon. You would probably want to play Blacephalon over Galarian Mr. Rhyme. Not only don't you have the hassle with like evolving and stuff, this needs to discard all the ball cards from the hand. You need twin or triple star rated energy. It's hard to get off, and even if you can get it off, you probably will not be able to survive a Marnie or a reset stamp, so tier 3 for me. Moving forward, Gengar Mimikyu, yeah, don't see that doing very successful. Tier 4. Tier 4 it is. Yeah, it also is weak to darkness. Weak to darkness. It is a psychic type that can hit Urshifus for weakness though, so maybe we put it in tier 3 for now. That's my prediction. It could actually like win against the Urshifus. Green's ADP. Green's ADP also tier 3. You don't see like, if you want to play ADP, play the one with Zacians, of course. It's probably better than like the Dolphin. Like Green's ADP belongs here. And then Double, yeah, it seems to be fine to me. Green's are same story. Like the green versions of these kind of decks are great, but like Tempo's art is better and the regular ADP list is better. So they're at tier 3. Inteleon, I think Inteleon, thanks to the lightning weakness, has been dropped down all the way to tier 3, unfortunately. In the past, it probably was a little bit better. We have Kingdra, the new archetype. I think it's also gonna be like tier 3, not like... I expect like a lot of things for Kingdra, but because of like Fion plays and like Cramorant plays, I see this archetype crumbling because they can knock out the Kingdras on the bench, and then you're stuck with like a Kingdra with a lot of energies. I don't know. All the energies stay in play though, but is it gonna be fast enough to take huge KOs? That's where I'm wondering. Probably better than, I don't know. Okay, moving forward. Lapras VMAX tier 3 deck. Probably on the higher end though. Is it better than Inteleon? Probably not. Next up, Licky Licky, another tier 3 deck. It did prove itself a little bit here and there. Probably gonna put that between Inteleon and Lapras. Luke Metal, that is going to be tier 1.5. Yeah, that seems to be good to me. Luke Metal. Is Luke Metal better than Curvy Knight? That is like something you guys need to determine. Okay, now the Mewtwo list. We have so many Mewtwo decks. Mewtwo with Bronzong. I don't know how Mewtwo with Bronzong will work, although they could knock out your Bronzong with Cramorant Snipes and then your strategy falls apart, so that's gonna be tier 2 for me. Mewtwo with Frostmoth, tier 3, on the higher end though of tier 3. Mewtwo Lightning, that is a very good deck. I think it's gonna be a 1.5, or maybe even, yeah, 1.5. 1.5 for me. Mewtwo with Psychic, that's gonna be in the lower end of tier 3. Yeah, lower end of tier 3. Mew with Grass, also same story, lower end of tier 3. Mew with Urshifu, people are hyping this up. We're gonna be putting that on the higher end, tier 1.5. And then there's Mew Welder, also 1.5 for me. We can still swap some decks to tier 1 broken, for sure. We could do that, we could put the Mew. Actually, it's called Mewfu, for people that were wondering. Lots of Mew decks, these are like the best Mew decks out there. Is Mew Welder deserving to be in the 1.5? It did score top 8 at a huge tournament recently. Don't know if it can still keep up though, with like lots of these decks having more HP, more VMAXs popping up, although again, you have the typing going for you against these Urshifu Madness decks. And we will come on to the Urshifus very shortly in the video. Milotic tier 3. I did see a Milotic deck doing pretty well, like in the early phases of the Vivid Voltage meta. Guzzlord tier 3. I think Guzzlord does deserve itself a little bit higher. Yeah, a little bit higher. Orbeetle, another one of those tier 3 decks, but this is a very nice one that actually scores some of the results here and there. Higher end of tier 3 for me. Pikachu VMAX, why would you play that? Tier 4. Yeah, without Electro Power, this is like useless. Play Picoram instead. Picoram, that's tier 1 for sure. Tier 1 broken, utterly broken. So we have ADP on tier 1 and we have Picoram. The reason why these are still good. Eternatus was also initially in tier 1, but because of the weakness and the Urshifu hype, I'm putting it at tier 1.5. Centiskorch could also be tier 1. Now that I think about it, but they have like Volcanions, and Urshifu just punishes you instantly with snipe mechanics, although Centiskorch can actually knock you out as well. You still have 150 if you go in the active with Urshifu VMAX Rapid Strike. Could still be tier 1 though, it could still be tier 1. Because I see a lot of results for Centiskorch. So for now, let's just put it in tier 1. And also now that I think about it, I think Pickeron is like better than ADP. Moving forward, we have Mad Party. That's a solid tier 2 deck for sure. Solid tier 2, even on the higher end. Like Mad Party is doing very, very well lately. Also now that I think about it, let's put Blown a little bit higher than these fellas. It's like a shame to put Blown a little bit higher. And the Mewtwo Welder goes like to the bottom. Yeah. Mew Lightning. I think like Mew Lightning and Picoram with 2 Mewtwo's in them is like very similar, but Mew Lightning does have the Vileplume action early on, so We'll see what is better. Primeape, I think I'm gonna be putting it in tier 3. It could be better. I think Primeape with Houndoom, you know how the one that accelerates the single strike energy allows you to just dish out huge damage to Primeape. Way too many stage 1s, it's pretty clunky, and it's like very similar to like Spiritomb and Donphan in the first place, so I could be proven wrong, but I think this is a solid tier 3 deck. Amazebox, also tier 3. Lots of tier 3 decks. We could even lower them down, to be honest. Like Milotic with more VMAXs in the format, probably gonna lower that down to tier 4. We can still move those around as mentioned. We're just going through the list entirely. Yeah, high tier 3 deck is going to be the quick, amazing rare Charizard deck, and that is actually a Reshiram deck. Amazing rare, 270 damage for fire, lightning, and a darkness. So that's going to be, yeah, you can use Viridian Force, put the lightning in discard, find your darkness energy, attach your darkness energy, tap a Coco Prism Star, accelerate the energy, Welder, boom, in turn 1, 270. Very scary for sure. Very scary for sure. But can you keep it up in the late game? Who knows? Maybe play alternate Welder attackers. But this Reshiram does have a little bit of potential. I will test that out very shortly on the channel. Reshiram tier 4. Yeah, lower end of tier 4 for sure. And like Falling's even lower than that. Alright, Tempuzard. Tempuzard is very good. Has proven itself already. We are gonna put him at tier 1.5 in the higher end. Like, for sure. Yeah, that's looking pretty reasonable. Also, Mew Welder has not performed that well, if we're just being completely honest, so we're gonna drop it down to tier 2. Mew Lightning, still better. Mewtwo is a new deck that we haven't checked out before. Also gonna check out the Virbank post a little bit. Curvy Knight, Turbozar, actually Turbozation. Single Strike Urshifu is also a little bit up there. Yeah, they are not a fan of the Mewtwo. Not a fan of the Mewtwo, so we're gonna be putting that a little bit behind. Maybe Mewtwo is a little bit overrated, so I think this probably is better. Yeah, probably is better. Okay. Moving forward, we have ourselves a Rowlet and a Alolan Executor. That's tier 2. Yeah, tier 2. Also Counterbox, probably tier 3, right? At this point. There are not like sufficient Psychic type attackers for now. It has to prove itself, so that's that. Solid decks for sure. Decidueye, Excadrill, I think Rowlet and a Alolan Executor has proven itself a little bit more, putting it a little bit higher. Flygon, Control. Yeah, for now this is fine. Moving forward, Sableye, tier 4. This is not gonna work, although knocking out VMAXs, you might think, oh, VMAXs are now the thing, you can play like Obstagoons, Turbo Patch, knocking stuff out. We have tried it so many times, and it never worked out, unfortunately. Salamence, tier 4. Yeah, we're not being kind right now. Galarian, yeah, I'm also gonna put that at tier 4. Crydaly. These are like tier 3 solid archetypes that could actually win tournaments. Double, Licky, Lapras, Primeape. Still don't know about the Primeape. Amazebox, tier 4, unfortunately. Aerodactyl. We're not being forgiven here. Kingdra, tier 4. Not a big fan. I tested it, but it didn't work out the way I wanted it. So that's what happens. Tier 4 for Colossal here as well. Mew Dex, Gauznaga. I don't know if you can win tournaments with more VMAX come in the format. It's still interesting for sure. Yeah, seems a little bit better. If you guys have a different opinion, be sure to let me know in the comment section below. I'll definitely be able to look at it and let me know if this is correct or not. I think Orbeetle is probably better than Greenzard, right? Cool. Moving forward, Salazzle. I have hope for Salazzle. Gonna be putting it at the higher end of tier 3. Not like most busted archetype, although it could actually one-hit KO a lot of these threats. It could turn itself into a tier 2 archetype if people play it more often than I anticipate. Then the Sandaconda meme deck, it's tier 4, but you could actually get surprise people with it. Seeking did have its highlights here and there, disrupting, so I'm putting it at tier 3. If you're playing like Disruption Prey, like the Munchlex control with Alolan Muck, that's probably better. Slowduck, you don't see that very often, tier 4 for me. Steelix, tier 4 as well. Like this is probably the better archetype of the bunch. Yeah, probably Charizard here, that one over there. Seems to be good to me. Tapu Koko VMAX. People are hyping it up with Amistar and Electrode blowing up stuff. So tier 3. I think Salazzle's still better. Why would you play Tapu Koko VMAX when you could be playing Picoram? Tina Chomp. We haven't seen that one in ages. Unfortunately, tier 4 for me. Togekiss, same story. Same story. Tier 4 for me. Yeah, there's another Orbeetle in here, but that's probably gonna be the... Let's see here. Do we already... Or actually, did we remove Orbeetle? I think Orbeetle was a solid tier 3 archetype. Yeah, a solid tier 3 archetype. And then greens are a little bit better. Oh yeah, there was 2 Orbeetles in here. That's fun, very funky. Yeah, this is probably gonna be Orbeetle with Dragapult VMAX. People are like a big fan of that, so there could be sliding in an Orbeetle into tier 2 as well, but that's gonna be the one with Urshifu Rapid Strike VMAX and a lot of escape ropes and all that. So for that, we're putting it at tier 2. So there's 2 different variants of Orbeetle. There's Toxtricity Mill, that's it's probably even worse than Durant, so putting it here. Then Urshifu Rapid Strike VMAX. You saw this coming from miles away. This is the most solid tier 1 archetype. So tier 1, these are the tier 1 decks. I'm pretty sure of that. You're gonna see a lot of these seen play. I wonder if we should be afraid of Centiskorch losing some of its power because of the Rapid Strike, being able to like knock out Volcanion, knock out a Jirachi or something. Who knows? Although Centiskorch can get the huge KOs that it always wants, or just 2-shot these fellas. Yeah, seems to be legit for me. Also Tempuzord, I think Tempuzord has become like a tier 1 archetype. Gonna be putting it a little bit higher than Eternatus for now, so that could change in the future. We are almost done, fellas. Almost done with this entire list. Single Strike Urshifu VMAX being able to one-hit KO anything in the game, and the meta is filled with tag teams and VMAXs, so 1.5 or tier 2 or lower end of 1.5. Let's just put it there. It could actually lower itself down or higher itself down depending on how it does. Victini VMAX, the one that punishes evolving VMAX decks. Is it going to be well enough? For now, the higher end of tier 2. Will it be as busted as people claim it to be? Who knows? It only slaps, I think, enough damage to just knock out like V Pokemon. I think 220 for 2 energies against certain archetypes like Baby Blondes, you lose. Against tag teams, you don't KO them. I don't know how to feel about this fella. So tier 2 for me. Moving forward, Vikavolt did saw a little bit of niche success, putting it at tier 3 in the bottom half though. Wailord, tier 4. People are playing Wailord. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. Mark my words, flipping coins, but not too consistent. Whimsicott, bottom end of tier 3. Then we have this Whimsicott, the 1 prize attacker. I think it's going to be... Is it tier 2? Probably not. It has dropped off insanely since its debut, but I could still add it in the lower end of tier 2. Because of its typing. Yeah, I forgive him because of its typing. Hitting weakness, psychic weakness is huge. Although they could be running Jirachi GX, you could great catch your bosses that, knock that out, and then knock out the Urshifus afterwards. Amazing rare Yveltal. It is such a dream deck, but probably gonna be tier 4, unfortunately. And then Turbozation sliding its way up to tier 1.5 on the higher end though. So that is how I would rank the new decks sliding into the format. What can we see? What has happened to the format? What has happened? Okay, we can actually agree that a Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX will be utterly broken. Great typing, great energy, of course that, yeah, double energy that you can go with Karate Bell, you can go for Artillery with a consistency. So many good things. You can pair with Orbeetle, you can pair with Dragapult, you can pair with Mewtwo, so this is gonna be a fantastic deck for sure. We have Pickeron, still hanging on to the #1 spot. You might think, oh no, because of its weakness. No, you have Mewtwo, don't forget that. And Mewtwo, this is gonna be like Mewtwo Wars. Oh, Urshifu comes up, you have your Mewtwo, they come with a Mewtwo parties everywhere. That's how it's gonna be. And also every deck still revolves around Crobat or Dedenne, so ADP is still just solid as ever. Centiskorch without like, yeah. There's just more of these decks coming. Centiskorch keeps its main role in tier 1. Tier 1.5, Temposard, Eternatus, Turbozation with a Rusted Sword, Mew Mew Lightning, Blacephalon, Curvy Knight. People are hyping this deck up. We have Luke Metal, we have Single Strike Urshifu VMAX. Is Single Strike Urshifu VMAX gonna be better than all the other one above? We're gonna have to figure that out very shortly. For Tier 2, there's Victini VMAX, the Mew Mew, or Mewfu, Mew Mew Welder, Mad Party, Rowlet, Dragapult with Urshifu, or just Lone Dragapult in general. Colossal VMAX, the Decidueye or Beetle with the Rapid Strike Urshifu. We have Cinderace VMAX, Excadrill, Flygon GX, Munchlex Control, and then the Mew Mew with Bronzong and the Whimsicott. All the rest could sometimes pop up in the tournament, but are not like decks you should fear. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this tier ranking, actually a tier list video. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to demolish that like button, as it helps out the channel more than you would possibly think. This is something I love doing, predicting the future. This is a tier list prediction. My opinion, if your opinion is different, let me know in the comments section what you think should change. And also be sure to check out our sponsors. We have PotownStore.com. This is the best place to get yourself some TCGO code cards. They will have Shining Fates up on stock very shortly. Also Battle Styles, as soon as they have it, they will have it up on their website. Definitely use the coupon code ZapdosTCG for 5% of your next order, because you can just get yourself League Battle decks, you can get yourself Zacian code, Mew Mew code, Eternatus code, whatever you need, you can find it there. And also check out, because of the regards of Poketown Store, there's a TCGO code card on the screen right now. If you're that lucky person, be sure to let me know what you pulled from that pack. And also, be sure to check out none other than, cardmarket.com. If you're a European player, there's a card market coupon code on the screen right now. If you're that lucky person that claimed the 5 euros, be sure to let me know what you're gonna buy with it. It's for European players, and that platform, Card Market, allows you to buy and sell cards to people all across Europe. How wonderful is that? Anyhow, that's it for today, so hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys tomorrow with brand new Pokemon TCG videos. Stay fresh, and I'll see you guys then. Peace!